Hello and welcome back to Factorio Space Exploration and Krastorio 2. So between episodes this has actually emptied out and we do have 112k in here, which is quite nice. So I'm gonna just casually throw this out and we're gonna take this bad boy right here. We're gonna put that here, I think. So I'm a little bit weirded out by the fact that we put these here. Like, I don't remember why we did this specifically. Maybe I wanted to try something. I don't know. We're gonna see how much this actually can cool down once it gets here. Then we are going to take this and we're gonna place it here, I think. Let me think here for 1 second. I genuinely dislike this part. And I am considering just doing this instead. We can snug this in a bit. Okay, let's double check the modules here. Everything is on the speed 3s now. And that means this is now cooling 17.2k. 17.2k. If I were to do this, that's 3.45. So we do have 12. No, sorry, we have 6 of these. It's 20k instead of 17k. It's not a huge thing, right? I think we'll leave it at that. Now the consideration here is to do 6. We'd need 2 of those here. If we wanted to add some extra cooling here, which I think we probably do want. I said we had 2 of these. Here. We're gonna have to be outside of this range, which is here. I think we do that. And I'm just gonna do this, I think. Here. That's fine. And then we'll add that there. And some power here. Now, the purpose of this 6.7. No, you know what? Since we're already here, we might as well just do this and make this completely self-sufficient for all intents and purposes. Like that. This is obviously gonna kind of suck in the sense that if we need more cooling here, we're gonna have to do this, which we can. Like very easily. I like this design a lot more, because this is going to prevent this from backing up, which is a huge freaking plus, not gonna lie. So we have a decent amount of cooling here. And then this should also be pretty decent. We are not really... no, okay, we can leave it at that. I don't really care that much about this. We can just send this in here now. Perfect. And this relies solely on tier 3 speed modules, which is another very nice advantage. Just because we just don't have that many of that. Okay, I think I'm done with that for now. Let's see if that works or not. We are going to put out a bunch of roboports here. We are about to go into Energy Science Pack 3. I'd like this infrastructure to actually do the thing. Did these get constructed? Yes, they did. So I opted to do differently here, which I think was a good idea. Let's take a look at what we need for Energy Science Pack 3. So the first couple of items are going to be the same. We're going to need a holmium solenoid, which is the new one. We can make a unloading station for this. Holm solenoid. Next thing is significant data. The thing after that is gonna be insight. These three things are pretty straightforward. If we then take a look at... Yeah, right. We actually need Energy Science Pack 2 as well. So we might just send that here. Then we have all those things coming in here. And these are going to be needed. We're going to need to merge at least a couple of these. But, I mean, we can merge. We can merge all of these. And it should work out really nicely. Next up is the comprehensive energy catalog, I think. This is done. This is done. 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 Thermofluid. Thermofluid. We're going to need this bad boy. We're going to need this bad boy right here. And we'll do that. We'll put a signal there. Gonna go all the way over here. And in there. With another signal there. So that's also done. Now the superconductivity data. We're gonna need blank tech cards, obviously. That seems to be the core of most of this anyway. I think it was holmium cable and cryonite rods. So holmium cable and rod, cryonite rod. And this is also going to be an experiment to see if we can actually fit this in here or not. So I'm not 100% sure. This is done. Quark data needs lithium. So we'll take lithium, bring that in here. This blank data card we already have. Super cooled thermal fluid we're going to need to make here. So no one cares about that. Chemical gel, right now we are botting in. Entanglement data. This will need rare metals as well. So we need rare metals. I'm gonna send this particular roboport. I think. No, let's not do that. Let's give it space. Rare metals. And the next thing here. Lithium chemical gel. Already done. Blank data card. Super cold thermal fluid. And then lepton data. Needs the particle stream. So we're gonna need a material testing pack and sand. I thought that we would use one of the old ones, but I guess not. Okay, material testing pack and sand. Testing pack. Sand. Which is fucking terrible. Okay, let us double check again. Done, 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 done. Is that actually it? It looks like it. So output from this. I don't think we'll be building any energy shields, so I'm gonna ignore this and say we don't need this to go out from here. If we really need it, we're gonna build a passive provider somewhere and just get that through there. That's fine. Quark data actually needs to go out for these other data cards. So quark data needs to go. So does entanglement data. So quark data and entanglement data are gonna be going out from this. I'm just gonna give this a little bit of space here. So quark data, entanglement data. Then we have comprehensive energy catalog. We have comprehensive energy catalog needs to go out. Contaminated scrap, junk data card. Junk data card. We don't have any scrap coming out from this process, do we? Doesn't look like it. So junk data card and contaminated scrap. Junk data card. Scrap. Contaminated scrap. And then energy science 3. If this actually works out like this, we will have the room to build it. That's a pretty big if, though. That is a pretty big if. But I mean, it's not that bad. It is not that bad. We're lacking some rail signals, which I genuinely don't really like. Okay, so this is all prepared now. I hope. This here is junk data card. And this here is contaminated scrap, if I remember correctly. It is. So we'll send a normal warehouse here and a normal warehouse there. Contaminated scrap. will be this one. And then junk data card will be this one. So we don't open these all the time. And that's going to be the energy science. Perfect. Now we can do energy science 3 in here. Just plug that in. Perfect. Am I trolling, or do we... Yeah, we don't have any made here. But you are ready to make it. And we need significant data. We need some insight as well. This is not happening. This is also not happening. What's holding this up, though? How did I right-click something? It was really close. I just fucking killed something there. So radiation data, you need blank data cards. Blank data cards, you're about to go. You're gonna go here, though, which I don't like. You're about to be full. I'm gonna send you up here so that we can get this process going. I would really like some of these junk data cards to be recycled, because we need that right now. We do need that right now. That would be great. I'd like to see this working as well. Let's take this and remove the excess platform that I don't need. So you came in here. You are gonna do your thing. Okay, you eat so many. And that's gonna be junk data cards coming out of that. There's no junk data cards there. There's none there. But there is from this. We do have a decent chunk here, yeah. I'm thinking that we're probably gonna be cooling way more than we need here now. But since not every single thing here is... Okay, they are all working now. Kind of. So we are ramping up here. Yep. That's 20%. Okay, I mean, I think, yeah, we do have enough cooling to do this, probably. So you're doing your thing, which is great. Does that mean we'll have a delivery of junk data cards soon? Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't think there's gonna be enough of them. Yeah, this looks fine. This looks really, really fine. Let's leave that for now. And start worrying about this thing up here. So, we made a really nice kind of thing here for this. I'd like to maybe mirror this to here. Something like this. This is then gonna be Energy Science Pack 3. And we'll see how much we'll get out of this. We're gonna need that 500 of that. Which is... it's rough. But we'll do our best. We don't have warehouses. Are we getting them from Novice or what? We are. We just sent something up, but I guess that wasn't enough, really. Yeah, I was like, are you only eating that many data cards? I don't believe, but no, you're not. You are eating a lot of data cards, my friend. And this here is still fine. This is still completely fine. And this here is going to keep up as well. So this system will never back up, I think. Which is great. We did get our things here now. This here, that's a lot. That is a lot. That's 504. That is 504. So I think we're leaving it at 1 for now. I'll just do this. And I think we'll be pretty satisfied with that. 504 Energy Science Pack 3. Now, we're gonna need a ton of comprehensive catalog. And comprehensive catalog probably looks very similar to this. Gonna need to make sure we don't put any of this too close, right? Here maybe? I think that's a pretty good spot for it. interestingly enough, we're only going to need 80. How much are we needing here? Right. Yeah, we made this double, right? So one of these would only need 128. So that requirement is going down slightly. Okay, so this is comprehensive catalog. Gonna have to see if we can get this together, yeah? This should be enough to get it pretty close to energy neutral, I think. Yeah, minus 75%. Oh, speaking of power, I forgot. We have a coronal mass ejection going for Earendel, so we're gonna have to get an umbrella there. Do we have one here? Maybe not. Whatever. Umbrella. Just casually gonna put it here. We don't have one at all there. So let's see. You sure? Yeah, okay. So that's coming there. That should now be requested from here as well. We don't have. That's cringe. Let's make sure we have umbrellas. Put that there. I'm gonna only make one. Let's make sure we have it. Right, so you and you need some power. Okay, this is 60, which means we do 120-ish. And that's a good spot to be in. That's a fantastic spot to be in. This is 16, so 8 is going to be half. It's only going to need us about 600 hypercooled thermal fluid, which is not a lot. Let's make sure we got some of this going here. I'll just get it here, to be honest. So hypercooled thermal fluid goes out here. This is normal thermal fluid. And we're gonna need some of the 100-degree thermal fluid here as an input. That should also be fine. You, on the other hand, you are only interested in the minus 100-degree thermal fluid. So that's fine. Now, if we take a look at the thing here, these look like they need a pretty decent size of or amount of buildings, because the junk data card chance is insanely high here. I'm wondering if this continues into this. That's a guarantee. This is an even higher chance. And that's something else. So these 79% chance to get a junk data card. Okay, that's kind of rough. But let's start with superconductivity data. This doesn't need too many different things, and it's made in an electromagnetics facility, which is this. So if I steal I think if I steal this build here, boom. Let's place it somewhere, because I need to see how much we actually need here. Let's say we would go here. And we'd make superconductivity data here, which is not the same as conductivity data. And we're gonna need... No, I was incorrect in this assumption. Okay. So we're gonna need a little bit more. No, I was right. It's just that, okay. But we're gonna need at least 120 of these. So we're gonna see what kind of build we need to do. These are also very power hungry. This is gonna need 3 inputs, so we do have the belts for it. We can maybe add this here. I think we did cards in the middle. We'll see what we need the most of. I think holmium cable should be on the outside, probably. That would make sense to me. So we could do 2 belts of holmium cable to get here. And this is also gonna need the hypercooled thermal fluid. Very nice hypercooled thermal fluid. So how are we doing here? We are getting some catalog. But let's be honest, it's it ain't that much. Cooling is keeping up really, really well, which I like. Okay, you're making 142 cards from this. And you're gonna need 2,000 hypercooled thermal fluid. which is a decent amount. Decent, but not that interesting. Gonna put some distance here. And that's gonna go in there. And this... Right, you are getting this annoying thing out. You're actually giving us minus 10 degree thermal fluid, which would be going in here. How much? You need like 6.7. So this would be the equivalent of this. Right. So this would be the equivalent of this. To deal with the warmer thermal fluid. And then we would cool that down to minus 10, which we could send in here. Yeah, that's interesting. I think we're gonna send it to a cooling thing here. So I think we're gonna want to do something similar like this here. We'll even give it a little bit more space, probably. And then... Wait. That's not particularly clever. We probably just need to make sure that that goes in there, yeah? Take this. I think here we connect that. Then we take this out. And this needs to go here. So we'll jump here. Here. That should be fine. Which means this here is going to be the minus 10 degree thermal fluid. Which is going to go in here. And get cooled down. This here is also minus 10. And this here would be minus 100 degree, right? Yes, that's your input. This is minus 100 degree thermal fluid. Which essentially would come from here, yeah? I find it a lot easier to just plan with straight pipes and no underground pipes because I can actually see where the hell things are going. Now, this is wrong. That's wrong. This here is correct. So this is the normal thermal fluid. Which needs to go in here. Okay. This is very much giving me a slight headache already. Not even gonna lie. We're gonna have to try and start this up with thermal fluid to see that this genuinely does the thing that I need it to. So this needs to be... Yeah, that's gonna be constructed here. Quark data is made in a particle collider. I'm pretty sure that it's this one. And that these are fairly... probably fairly similar. Let's try and put that here, maybe. And this would then be quark data. Let's see how much we need. We're gonna need the proton stream as well for that. Okay, so you should be getting close here now. I just need that to jump there. Then we can see. This needs the minus 10 degree thermal fluid as well. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be here. And we'll fit that together pretty decently as well. Then this is another particle collider. So is this. So can we just get 3 of these out here? So I can see what the hell we're dealing with here. Not sure we're going to 100% be able to reuse all of those, but I mean, if we're lucky, we are a little bit lucky. Please do construct this, my friend. That would be great. And these should then start cooling it so that they're gonna get their thing in here. That should be working fairly well very early. You're getting your thing out here, which is fine. There are so many ups and downsides with either building cooling on site or trying to train it out of here. It's definitely slightly frustrating to try and design a cooling system for each of these things. And at some point, genuinely at some point, if we need to scale this later, building one of these for a card is not a fucking stupid idea. So that's scalable to a bigger degree. But we'll have to deal with this for now. Can you genuinely just go here and do your thing, please? I beg. We just need 4.8 thousand of that science to do that. Even with the productivity of science that we have right now. 70%. So I mean, for every 1,000 science we do, we're going to get 1,700 out, so that's good. What's 4.8 split on 1,700? Okay, whatever. Let's take a look here. You got your super cold thermal fluid. You're putting out this here. That's going to be cooled, and that's going to be sent out to that, which is what we want. You are also working, and you're sending out your thing here, so that got the thermal fluid it needs. You're going to need 100-degree thermal fluid, which is here. So that's already sorted, and you are getting the output here correctly. And this is obviously not doing fuck all because we're just not cooling that much. Okay. Let's head over here to see what kind of ratios that we're dealing with here. So this was quark data. That makes a little bit too much. But this makes a little bit too little. And I think it's important, probably. I think it's very important that we'd have to double the speed. No, not really. Like, this escalates really, really quickly. Oh, I'm out of those. Like, even with this, now you're making 120. That's 38 megawatts of power times 4. I mean, that's 160 megawatts instead of doing this, which is 16. So it's only 10% of the power that we spend by doing this, and we get more out of it. So fuck that. I ain't touching that. I'm just gonna double check here. We're gonna need quark, entanglement, and lepton. So it is this one. And then this would be lepton data. I am genuinely out of modules, and I'm wondering if we're out of modules down here as well. Not really. Not really. You're gonna send kind of soon. How are we doing over here, my friend? You have your umbrella, you have a bunch of your stuff. Please send that. These modules are done. Oh, okay. See, here we're encountering a problem immediately as well. This is genuinely not enough. This is genuinely not enough. And how much are we looking at here? Is that the same? That's 51. Oh, okay, right. This is not constructed yet, and this is not doing its thing. This is 14. Okay, now this looks a little bit better, but this one is going to be a struggle. So either, and I think the reasonable thing to do here is to double this up. I think that's the reasonable thing to do. I think anything else would be trolling. I think genuinely anything else would be trolling. So we take this. Why do I have... Oh, right. I was like, why the fuck do I have that? But there is a reason. There is a reason for this. I don't get why we do that, but we should do that. We are getting a couple of modules here. But this is also gonna need things. Are we out of modules? That's the question. Yeah, we are. This is not really a problem per se, it's just modules are being really freaking slow. Might be time to start migrating. Oh. That's not really what I wanted. We're gonna have to move this later. Man, sometimes I'm so fucking stupid, it's unbelievable. That's actually incredible. Whatever. If we do the 4 speed modules up here, motor, electronic circuit, advanced circuits, I think we have those already. definitely have these immersite crystals, probably. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. But it doesn't matter too much. And iridium plate, not really, because we're not doing material science right now. But we're gonna need a lot of that, so you know, putting that up here soon might be a really good choice. And we are just sending these modules. How about these? I think we're also struggling with those. This makes 163, which is very, very acceptable to me. This is ion stream. This needs 8k. This makes 9k. So we can take this build for that. You need 20 fucking k, which is about this much. Okay, so we can take that build as well. We have 2 builds prepared for that. The particle stream, we don't have anything for that. But this is looking like what we need, and this is not that freaking bad. This is not that bad. Question is, do I take this and move it up here? Because the ion stream is going to be the most difficult. I think I'd like to do this. We take this, move up 1, then we delete that. We take this, move up 1, and then we delete this. Okay. This is definitely what we're going to want to do. Let's see if we can get this together, though. Cryonite rod. So, holmium cable. We're going to need 400 holmium cable per minute. That sounds like a big load of nothing to me. So we take this here. Then we open this up here. Like so. We're gonna need a splitter somewhere. Why I don't have splitters? And then holmium cable does come out here. Can we just do that, please? I'll go up there myself, I think. There we go. So I think we need to tie this together now. So I can make sure we We don't build in the way of the rails. So we tie this up here. Like so. And then holmium cable comes out here. And you're gonna go in here. Blank data card. Oh, this is blank data card. Right. We'll do that then. Holmium cable is actually here. So I'll drag this out here. I think blank data card is something that we're going to need so much of. So we'll just take that out there. And then we have cyanide rods here. This is, again, not that interesting thing. So cyanide rods we don't need anywhere else, do we? Blank cards go boom. And cyanide rods go there. We split that up. This comes out with two things. Superconductivity data only needs to go in there. We'll drag this here. Somewhere along this line, we're gonna need a junk data card to go out. And into here. Or the question is, maybe we just do... We do this differently. We do superconductivity data. We do this the other way. Like so. And then here we do junk data card. Junk data card goes to the right. And then it's contaminated scrap, which will just go in here. This is contaminated scrap. Yes, it is. That should be put together like we want it to. That should be put together 100% like we want to. That's fucking 46k in that pipe. That's big boy thing. Okay. Nice. that I really actually enjoyed. And I think that's going to fit together really well. But that's going to be the end of this episode. We're running out of time here, really. For some reason, you are being... Oh, there's a power pole there. That's fine. I have 50 of these, and we're going to need 27. Let's just construct these like so. Perfect. There we go. Just gonna also double check. We do have this umbrella. We are able to get 100 or 1.5 gigawatts here now, so we should be fine, probably. Just need a couple more solar panels. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. If you like my content, consider subscribing to my channel. And as always, thank you so much for watching and have a really nice day.